Welcome to week 7 of Explore the Bible. Today we're in Matthew chapter 24, and we finish up this section on the essentials of Christianity. And today we're going to talk about the return of Christ. So here's what I'm going to do, right? I'm going to explain to you today everything you need to know about the return of Christ. I have it all figured out. I'm going to tell you when everything's going to happen, the order in which it's going to happen, how it's going to occur, what you're going to feel like during it, and all of that. No, I'm not. I'm sorry. I can't do that because nobody can. All right, we don't have all the information. We don't know. But we are going to look at Matthew 24 and see some of the pieces. Okay, we're going to see some of the pieces of it. Before we look at that, I just want to encourage you to subscribe to our channel. If you haven't already subscribed, share it with others to let them know so they can get subscribed as well. We're looking forward to what God's going to tell us here in Matthew 24. He says, Jesus replied to them. This question was, when is the end going to come? When's all this going to get wrapped up? Jesus replied to them, watch out that no one deceives you, for many will come in my name, saying, I am the Messiah, and they will deceive many. You're going to hear of wars and rumors of wars. See that you're not alarmed, because these things must take place, but the end is not yet. Catch that? You hear about wars, you hear rumors of wars, people that are saying they're the one coming. Don't be alarmed. That's not the end. For nation will rise up against nation and kingdom against kingdom. There will be famines and earthquakes in various places. All these events are the beginning of labor pains. Okay. I don't know how long labor took for you when you were born. I don't know how long it took for your kids when they were born. Varies by every person, varies in every birth, right? It's different. But what we know is this. There are beginnings, and the beginning of the labor pains is not birth. It's just the beginning of the labor pains. He says all of these things are the beginning of labor pains. They are the signs that something's going to happen, that this world is not forever, that there will be an end to come. Okay? So one way to look at this passage, instead of saying, well, the more we hear about wars and the more we hear about famines and earthquakes, the closer we're getting, one way to look at this is when he says, you're going to hear about all these things are going to happen, these are the beginning of the labor pains, is just to understand that these things happening tells us this is not our home. This is not the end. There is another place. It lets us know something's going to happen. That's the beginning of the labor pains. It lets you know something's about to happen, but we don't know when or how much longer it will be. Once they start, you don't know how long they'll go. It could be a few hours. It could be 24, right? You don't know, but you know it means something's going to happen. These things tell us this world is not our home. Something's going to happen. Okay, skipping along here. Okay, we're skipping over some good parts, so we're just hitting some highlights. He says immediately after the distress of those days, the sun will be darkened, and the moon will not shed its light. The stars will fall from the sky. The powers of the heavens will be shaken. Then the sign of the Son of Man will appear in the sky, and then all the peoples of the earth will mourn, and they will see the Son of Man coming on the clouds of heaven with power and great glory. And he will send out his angels with a loud trumpet, and they will gather his elect from the four winds, from one end of the sky to the other. Okay. When these things happen, we don't know. What this is describing, is this describing the actual sun going dark and the moon not, now obviously the sun goes dark, the moon doesn't shed any light because it just reflects what the sun says. Are the stars actually going to fall from the sky? Or is this a picture of total turmoil that occurs in the world? I don't know. You don't know either. Nobody does. But what we do need to understand here is that when Christ comes back, he appears in the sky, and everybody knows it. All the peoples of the earth will mourn. Everybody knows there will be no silent return of Christ where only some people know about it or some people hear about it. Look, when Jesus comes back, and everybody knows it. It is clear and obvious. Here's what I know about the return of Christ. He's coming back. You better be ready. That's what I know. Those things I know for sure about the return of Christ. He's coming back. You better be ready. Everybody, he says, all the peoples of the earth will mourn, and they will see the Son of Man coming on the clouds of heaven. So all the peoples of the earth will mourn. All the peoples of the earth will see Christ returning on the clouds of heaven with power and great glory. When he returns, he comes with power and glory. Everybody knows. Not quiet, right? And he sends his angels out with the trumpet, and they gather his elect, that is the saved, from the four winds, that's the corners of the earth, from everywhere, right? From one end of the sky to the other, he gathers up all of his followers. This great return and the gathering up. Therefore, he says, because Christ is coming back, and when he comes back, he is going to take those who are his believers out of the world with him, those who are his followers, the elect. He's going to take them out of the world, right? Therefore, be alert, since you don't know what day your Lord is coming. You don't know, he says, so be ready, be alert. Could happen today, could happen before the video's over. Be ready. But know this, if the homeowner had known what time the thief was coming, he would have stayed alert and not let his house be broken into. This is why you are also to be ready, because the Son of Man is coming in an hour you do not expect. I used to have this idea, and I don't know, maybe it's still good, right? My idea was this. When you get to a moment in history where absolutely no one of the however many, 7 billion people on the face of the earth, when not a single one of us is expecting Jesus to return at that moment, that's when he'll return. Right? I don't know if that's the way it is or not, but clearly here's what he's saying. Okay? You're not going to know when. You're not going to be able to say, well, you're not going to put a date and an hour on it. Stop doing that. People that do that, that's just silly. Jesus said you can't know. You'll never know. Right? You don't know when it's coming, but you can be ready. You can be alert. You can be prepared so that when he comes, you're ready for it, because at the moment he returns, it is too late. It's too late in that moment to then decide, well, now I'm going to give my life to Jesus. No, we're done. It's over. You've waited too long. Give your life to Christ now. Start living for him now. Be prepared for him now so that when he returns, you'll be ready. Maybe you live your whole life on this earth and die, and he still hasn't returned. Certainly there have been billions who've done that. Maybe that will be you. Maybe that'll be me. Or maybe we'll get to see him in the sky. We'll see his return before we pass. I don't know. Could be. I think everything that needed to happen has happened. You know, it's possible he could come at any time. But I don't know. You don't know. So therefore, be alert. Be ready, because you don't know what day he's coming. You don't know when he's going to return, right? But you do know that if you, the homeowner knows this. If he'd known when the thief was coming, he would have gotten ready for the thief, right? Well, look, you know Jesus is coming, so get ready. You know he's returning. Get ready. We know this. I don't know the order of all the events, right? There are sometimes longer passages and sometimes shorter passages, a few times multiple passages that speak about events that will occur. But it's really hard to know which are which and what order they're going to come in. And people have different ideas about it. And we could argue about those things. And I think it's kind of fun to study those things for a little bit. But look, here's what we do know. Jesus is going to come back, and you better be ready when he does. That's what we know, right? That's what we know. Don't get so caught up in the things you don't know that you forget to live the things you do know. All right? Hey, thanks for watching. I hope this has helped. Really appreciate you spending some time with us today. God bless you as you teach and all that. Subscribe to the channel. Share it with others so they can see also. We'll see you next time. God bless.